What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. Today I'm going to be putting the Mini up on the lift and trying to figure out what's going on with the skid plate and the oil issues and everything else. I've got an oil pressure gauge to install. I've got that rear diffuser to install. I put a Euro plate on the back of the car, and I'm kind of trying to get everything ready for next weekend, which is Carnival at Pleasanton Fairgrounds. I should be posting some stuff up on the Instagram account at broken_mini. So go ahead and take a look there and when I make more posts about it. And make sure you give me a follow, and then of course always like, share, subscribe to the channel, and we can keep posting more videos. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw this thing on the lift and start taking a look at everything. Alright guys, so I got this thing up on my lift. The first thing I'm gonna do is drop the skid plate and try to get the oil out. Considering I had dropped the skid plate on the freeway, you can't really see the damage yet. I kind of want to assess what happened and figure out why it happened, and then slowly start getting everything dealt with. So we're gonna drop the skid plate first. I'll drain the oil out, sweep a little bit under the car, and then start working on the diffuser and a couple other things. So let's get it started. Alright guys, so I got the skid plate off, and as you can see, the bottom half of my motor is a mess. So I have oil all on this side of the motor, which is closest to transmission. I'm possibly thinking rear main seal or something of that nature. I'll have to clean it up and kind of take a look at it from the outside to see what it could be. Which actually, if I'm leaking oil there and it's not building pressure, could be part of my light if I'm, not wrong. So other than that, I realized I'm missing the boot. Let me see if I can actually drag the light over a little bit better. There we go. I'm missing the clamp and tore the boot on my axle. So, that's part of the reason it's a mess down here. Cause that's gonna be a pain in the ass to fix. But with that being torn, I don't know how it tore. That's something I'm gonna have to try to figure out. But because it's torn, it leaked the axle grease all over the place and decided to make a mess. So I've got to clean that up, but that is a pretty nasty slice. So I gotta get that taken care of. So I'll go upstairs and order an axle tonight, and hopefully have one by the end of the week. Thank God it's an OEM axle. I might be able to actually source one locally, and I just don't want to pay for it because that's gonna be expensive. But I'm gonna finish doing the rest of the cleanup down here. Disconnect the O2 sensor, and I gotta start getting the exhaust out because I have a new manifold inside. So I'm gonna get the fan out of the way, which is a little loose. But I'm gonna try to clean all this up. I'm gonna drain the oil right now to see how that looks. My goal is to get the oil pan off to see everything that's inside, and that by doing that I maybe actually be able to clean some of this up. I'm hoping maybe it's just an oil pan gasket actually. So we'll see if I can get that fixed and just kind of clean everything. But the main thing is I need to order an axle tonight because I did not realize that was that bad. So I will get that taken care of. I'm hoping it's not because of my oil cooler lines, though it could be. So when I get on the other side, I will take a look at that. But I love having the quick jacks because it gives me a lot of clearance. So I have no problem being under the car and having to worry about it. So I guess I'll get the rest of this stuff done. Alright guys, so the bad news is I hate jacking up this car because I keep finding more problems. So besides the driver axle and everything else, I don't know if you can see the color of the oil, but it's roughly the same color as my vanilla iced coffee I have in the morning. So I did a head gasket not too long ago. Apparently I'm going to have to pull the head off again. I'm hoping it's actually not a head issue. I'm hoping the head's not warped because that can be a costly fix. Because of course if I have to put a new head on it, why would I spend $1,000 on a cheap one when I can spend $2,000 on a good one? So trying to figure that one out, depending if I need a new head or not. I just did the head gasket. I'm hoping the head's not bad. So just let it finish dripping. But I'm hoping, yeah, for the best at this point. I've got a week until Carnival, and at this point, between the axle and possibly a bad motor, It's gonna be tight to get the car there. I also applied for WeekFest, and I'm hoping for the best for that one. My goal really is to get this car to WeekFest. So while I finish, let that drip in. Yeah, so my biggest goal right now is to get this car to WeekFest. Again, I was in it last year and had a fun time, and I'm really trying to get it back this year with a whole bunch of new upgrades. So Carnival is all, you know, everybody in the car clubs, everybody in my club's going, so I wanted to bring the car there. I registered super last minute and got in. So I was hoping to be able to hang out with my car and all my friends. But at this point, I'm just gonna hang out with all my friends if I can't get this going. But to try to stay positive, I've got a week left to do this, and I'm gonna bust my ass to get it done. So with that said, anybody, all hands on deck. I'd really like to help. Christian, the one who helps me the most, is up in Oregon this weekend, so that kind of puts a damper on everything. But I'm gonna try and get a bunch of parts ordered and do the best I can. Hopefully get parts overnighted and get this thing back on the road for the show. And then I've got a bunch of secrets coming out for the show for WeekFest if I can get everything going. So I've got a whole new tank setup going in. I've got a whole new receipt delete getting ready to go in. So you guys will follow along with that as I slowly start building everything and getting everything ready. So that's my main goal. And then of course my show, Cars for Hearts, which we're still in the planning stages for this year. So we're just trying to find a location and a date. Once all that gets done, I'll of course post that everywhere because, you know, it's something I'm really proud of. But I'm gonna go finish trying to work on the car and see how much more I can get done. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a break for right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and look up the leak down test. I'm still gonna do a leak down test in the morning to maybe try to pinpoint what's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that. Alright guys, so my next step to check this thing is the leak down test. So I've got the leak down tester there. In order to do this, I have to remove the upgraded intercooler in order to get to the spark plugs, because the one downside to this intercooler is it does block pretty much all the spark plugs. It also blocks the bleeder screw off of the coolant line, and I noticed that. So I can't really bleed the coolant from that aspect or do anything with the spark plugs. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the intercooler now, put the stock one back on, and prepare for the leak down test. Alright guys, so before I head to the store, I wanted to get this diffuser put on. So this is the Leap Tau diffuser. It's the new carbon fiber. I gotta do some test fitting around the exhaust because it wasn't built for this one. But we'll set it how it looks, and then I still gotta redo all of the rear of this. Shout out Voodoo. We got sponsorship through them and with Team Envious. I've got carbon fiber pillars which I want to redo. So I got those. Focus on them. Got the B and C pillars. A couple of them need new brackets, which is why I want to redo them. So then the bright seats. And then the rear seat delete, which is flipped over right now, so I can get to the battery to put the lift up. What's going on guys? So before I do the leak down test, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick compression test. I already did cylinder number 4. Kind of going to work my way down, make sure everything is still even and about where it should be. So far cylinder 4 is still where it was last time I checked it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that before I perform the leak down test. I've already got the compressor ready to go and the kit ready. So let me finish this compression test and get started on the leak down test. Alright guys, I got the compression test done, and we are roughly about 120 across the board. I got 130 on cylinder 1, and then 120, 118, and 120. So they're all within range. Should be good, at least compression wise. Now it's the leak down. So I've got this thing turned up pretty much all the way. This is cylinder number 1. And per the leak down test, I've got 100% leak. You can completely hear it coming out the oil cap. So I know that means it's wrong. That means there's a problem. And I'm trying to see if it'll focus on that. But I've got the issue there. I've got boogers on the cap. It's not going to focus on anything, of course, because I want it to. But I mean, even when it's not focused, you can see the boogers on there. Like, it's bad, and you can hear it coming through there. Nothing going on in the coolant, so it's not backpedaling that way. It's just coming through that, which means I could just have a bad head gasket. Kind of need to do a little bit more research, figure out why it's not focusing. There we go. So I just kind of need to do a little bit more research real quick, and then I'll come back to testing the other ones. Alright guys, so I tested all of the cylinders. It looks like I have a roughly 20 to 40% loss. A lot of them were like 25 when I retested cylinder 2. I've got a lot around 30 to 35, pretty much across the board. They're all even. And it's coming out the oil plug or the dipstick, like the oil cap or the dipstick, which according to the book means it is the cylinders or the piston rings. So I'm gonna head upstairs and edit this, and I will see you guys. Alright guys, so I ended up testing the rest of the cylinders, and I've pretty much got a 25 to 35% loss across the board, and the noise is coming from the oil cap or the dipstick, which from what the book says means I've got bad piston rings, and that's gonna need a bottom end rebuild, and getting that done before Carnival is gonna be a little bit of a stretch. I'm gonna try to rent a trailer, get everything buttoned up so I can take it to the show, rock it for the show, and then after the show get everything fixed in order to go to WeekFest if I get accepted. I'm still waiting for that acceptance letter, as are apparently a few people. So once I get that, I'm gonna, like, once Carnival's over, I can bring it in, order a bunch of parts that I'm gonna need in order to redo this rebuild. And once I can get the rebuild done, we'll hopefully have everything running and I can drive the car more frequently. So if I have to do a full rebuild, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna be doing. But I have an electric water pump that needs to go on. I'm gonna hook up the oil gauge for Carnival. I'm gonna do as much as I can for Carnival. Get the header swapped out. I've already got these headers for sale, and I've got somebody interested. I've got the aftermarket coils, the H&R coils off my daily for sale, and I've got somebody interested in those. So I'm kind of trying to get rid of all of my extra parts. I've got a spare cylinder head. I've got apparently this cylinder head if I have to pick up a new motor. So I'm just trying to figure out what's gonna happen, and it's a couple of decisions I have to make on what's gonna happen with this motor. And I'll let you guys, of course, know what that decision is gonna be. But I'll catch up with you guys in the next vlog, which hopefully is me cleaning up the car and driving it to Carnival, or putting it on the trailer and towing it to Carnival. So I will follow up with you guys in the next vlog. I'll see you guys later.